products, Aaron Medrano and Miranda Vallejo, both also playing their college basketball at Shriner University. So, guys, welcome aboard.
Hello, hello, hello.
Thank you for having us.
Definitely, yeah, we're glad to have you guys on. It's a unique deal because both of you played basketball at San Benito, same graduating class, and both are up at Shriner. Let's start off with just, how you guys have been, and now we're starting to see some sort of normalcy return to our lives, and, how have you guys adjusted? Miranda?
I mean, it's been kind of tough, having to come home, not even being able to finish school, but we practically been quarantined together, so I guess we haven't been alone. I haven't been alone. So I feel like I've adjusted well, and I've had my family. It's been going pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, same. I mean, just I guess working out has been tough because I just want to play video games all day like everybody else. But that's been the toughest part, getting up and trying to find ways to just stay active and not just eat all day.
So for you guys, for I know March and April was probably the tougher months where we were ordered to stay home. How do you guys keep busy? I mean, I know you mentioned video games and Netflix. How was all that quarantine for you guys?
At first I enjoyed it because I got to stay in bed all day and do like nothing. I got to be lazy, but then after a while it's like, man, like you got to get up and you got to do something because it gets boring after a while. Like I wanted to go out with my friends, but I couldn't. Like I just had to stay home. So it kind of like it affected me pretty hard after a while because like I got used to being at home. It's just like I want to go out now.
Yeah.
Aaron?
And man, it was tough. It was really tough. I mean, I'd have to just drive just to get out or anything, just to at least try to get out. But other than that, I had to stay home. Like the rest of the Valley and the world basically. So video games, 2K, Call of Duty all day. And then I had dumbbells here, so get a little lift in when I had the chance.
Any Netflix? Any Hulu? Anything you guys binge watched?
All of it.
Yeah, a lot of Netflix. I've gone through at least 3 shows, double digits in movies. Crazy.
What would y'all watch? What did you binge watch?
So I watched The Vampire Diaries. I watched Criminal Minds. There's Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's my favorite show, by the way. Anyone who wants to know.
Day.
Yeah. And the movies, I don't know. I just watched any type of movies that anyone was talking about. I said, let me just check it out. I mean, what else do I have to do? That's pretty much it. Like, I watched a whole bunch of Netflix.
Definitely. How about you, Aaron?
Dark Knight. That's about it. I have that on repeat. Favorite movie all time.
The Dark Knight Rises or which one?
The Dark Knight. But I mean, the Rises goes hard too, though.
Definitely. So the one with the Joker, the one with Heath Ledger.
Yep, that one. All day.
Sweet. Did you watch Gotham?
No, I didn't. My brother tried to put me on, but I never got to it.
Well, you should watch it. All the seasons are on Netflix. If you're a Batman fan, you'll definitely like that one.
Yeah.
So you guys are up at Shriner, and the pandemic hits right around spring break. Were you guys already home? Or where were you guys at when things started to unfold?
Yeah, so I remember because Aaron and I were actually playing ping pong together, and all of a sudden we get this email. Every other university is like, oh, we're gonna finish the semester online, blah blah. And then Aaron's like, nah, like we're not. And we get an email saying like we're gonna continue, like after spring break, we're gonna come back. And then so he goes home. And then he felt like they were gonna cancel it, so he already takes most of his stuff home. And then I end up going home. All of a sudden, I wake up and I read an email saying, "Well, sorry, but we're gonna finish online." So I text him right away. So we already planned the weekend, and we had to go all the way back up to Shriner, get all of our stuff or the rest of our stuff, and then we had to come all the way back down, and that was it. So we had started home, had to go up just to get our stuff real fast, like short notice. And then just come all the way back home, and that was it. We couldn't go back up.
Yeah. Was the same thing with you, and you kind of had most of your stuff already home?
Yeah, so I kind of like I knew something was up, and with everybody, I think UTSA was one of the first schools to kind of close, but obviously we're a private institution, so I wasn't sure how it was like how it was gonna work. So I just took most of my stuff with me already, and thankfully, I mean, it wasn't too bad going back, but
Yeah, and thankfully for you guys, you all were able to finish your season. But taking a step back and looking at all the other athletes, the spring sports like softball, baseball, track, what were your thoughts on just kind of seeing that unfold and maybe putting yourselves in their shoes and having to deal with all that?
For me, it's like when they say play every game like it's your last game. I really didn't know. Like, it really didn't affect me as much till that happened, because like I knew softball people who like were dying to start the season, and then seniors, they couldn't even play. Like they didn't even get the chance to finish their last season. So like it actually hit me. Not it affected me, but like I felt for them, because if I was a senior and I didn't even get to finish my last season as a college athlete, it actually like it takes a toll on you.
Aaron?
yeah, and I think I wasn't really too close with the college athletes as far as the other sports, but when you look at high school, right, the high school seniors and those things, I think those were affected more so, because I remember when I was a senior and I was just trying to find a way to college basketball, like any way, any possible way. So if my season was cut in San Benito, I'd be, I wouldn't be wearing a Shriner shirt right now. You know what I'm saying? So I feel for those people the most.
Definitely. Let's go 2 years back. Y'all's senior year. When you guys are both playing at San Benito. When did Shriner come onto the radar?
Okay, so if I'm being honest, I didn't even know I was gonna play college basketball. Like I thought I was gonna be done after high school. But then I got an academic scholarship for Shriner. And then my coach helped me reach out to the Shriner coach. And then I went to go visit the campus, and I was just like, man, like I really like it here. And if it means that I get to keep playing basketball, then like I'm all for it. So it was actually after basketball season too. Like I had finished my basketball season, and then I got in contact with her. And then we just hit it off from there, and then I signed.
Were there any other schools maybe that you had on your radar, or maybe some other schools had you on theirs?
I know a couple from New York, Wisconsin, can't pronounce that, Wyoming, and like out of state. There was a couple, but I personally didn't want to move far from home, because like my family's, they're like my best friends, so like leaving them would be hard. Even leaving 5 hours away, super hard for me, but I ended up adjusting pretty well. So yeah, that's really hard.
Aaron?
It wasn't until after season, like Miranda said, when when we were in school, with San Benito sophomore, junior, and senior year, it was a good emphasis from Coach Abrigo to play summer ball together. So the what is it called, AAU, all that type of stuff, that wasn't really an option. It was like we were going to be San Benito going in summer, so like scouts and stuff, like we weren't going to get seen obviously, but it was just let's figure this out together. So after the senior year, that's when I started like, okay, let's see if we can make this happen. And I started going to camps, top 100 in Houston, and then I went to a camp in New Jersey. My brother Danny was able to take me at the time, and it all helped. Just so a couple schools reached out, and we came in contact. But then it wasn't until Shriner that I was like, man, it's 5 hours away as opposed to 20, so that'll work.
And were you two kind of in contact at the time in high school, like, hey, I'm gonna be going there, so am I, or how did that work?
So after my signing day, actually this is 2 years. I signed May 25th today, 2 years ago today. After when it happened, I texted her right away. I was like, hey, and funny story, I didn't know her in high school at all.
Yeah, like we knew of each other, but we weren't even friends.
We were in our own lane at the time.
Our own lane.
So, stay in your lane. So I texted her. I was like, "Hey, I know you're going to Shriner. Like, it might be a landing spot for me as well." And she's like, "Oh, cool. Like, let me know what happens, whatever." And then I ended up signing, and yeah.
Yeah, we became best friends.
Yeah, I remember being at both of y'all's signing, and I do remember they were at separate times.
Yeah.
So you guys.
I sound like
Oh yeah.
So,
Sorry.
okay. So you guys get to Shriner. You know, you're new to the campus, you're new to the community, you're new to the team. What was the adjustment period like for you all, and how long did it take for you to get adjusted to the college life? Aaron, we'll start with you.
Oh, yeah. I've always been independent, kind of just in my room, you know, like I said, playing video games, you know, going out, you know, kind of doing my own thing. My parents kind of let me just, you know, wander off, I guess. So the transition wasn't too bad for me. As far as like, I do remember though, there was a time where my birthday was coming around, and that's when it kind of hits you, you know, holidays, birthdays, when you're like, man, like I miss my family, you know, that's when it gets real tough. And it was my freshman year, and I was by myself at the time. And I get up for like 6 a.m. practice, something crazy. And I'll never forget, my friend Leroy, he texted me. He's like, "Hey man, just keep going, man. Like, you know, we all like rooting for you." Like, and that really helped me, like, just kind of get over that little slump. And after that, I was fine.
Miranda.
You know.
So, like I said, how my family is my best friend. It was super hard. Like, I cried like a baby for a good week or two every day because I wanted to go home, because my mom is still is. She's my best friend. Like, every day I spent it with her. If I'd go out with my friends, I'd always have her to come home too, and I just go chill in her room. Like, even my friends and we go hang out with my mom just because that's how close we are. So it was super hard. But then I forgot. Oh, so I met like my teammates. They always try to include me and stuff, but I just couldn't. I'd just be like, no, I'm fine, and then I'd be by myself. And then one day my parents went to go visit me, like the next week that they dropped me off. And then I was like, you know what? Like, they're always gonna be here for me, even if they're not physically with me. So then I kind of like told myself, like, you need to try to adjust. And then so I met, like, it was like my friends Courtney, Alyssa, and Sky, and like basically the whole team. Like, I saw how welcoming they were. So then I was like, all right, I got to give this a try. And then like now they're like some of my best friends that I can't wait to see again. So it was 2 weeks and I was fine.
Yeah, definitely. You know, so then on the court, you know, what was that transition like? You know, once you guys stepped onto the court, was it the speed? Was it the terminology, or just getting used to just, you know, the different environment as far as the basketball goes?
So one thing that I learned, everybody is good there. Nobody is bad there. So for me, it was like, I feel like having to adjust to a new team, like, first of all, because I spent, I don't even know how many, basically my whole basketball career, like from high school and under, with the same girls that I played with. So it's like, we built a family there. So having to play with new girls, it's like, I need to know how they play. I need to understand what they think. And like, we just need to like learn off of each other. So once we did that, then it was, the court's like bigger. The team, like every team is faster, and you just like have to work 10 times harder to adjust to that. But once you adjust to that, it feels like, to me, it feels like the same thing in high school. Like, you just gotta keep pushing and you're fine. You'll be fine.
Aaron?
And kind of like what she said, in high school, you know, there's players you can go up an open three to, and you'll be like, okay, we'll live with the result. But in college, if there's open three, it's gonna go in. So that on defense, that's what I've noticed the most. You can't really fall asleep on rotations and things of that nature. Back to terminology, I had a good opportunity. Freshman year, we had Coach K at the time, and then we switched. This year, Coach Rock was able to land the job. So I've learned through so far 3 coaches in 3 years. So just getting a chance to see their perspective on the game and just kind of pick their brains about it has been really helpful. just as far as terminology goes, and that's gone a long way.
You know, and this past year, Miranda, I saw that you had a really good year. It feels like you kind of came into your own, and you've become familiar with the system. I think you even got was it Conference Player of the Week a couple times?
Yeah, I really don't remember, if I'm being completely honest with you. Something like that.
So yeah, but
But
I do remember Shriner. They had mentioned it. I think they tweeted it out that you had gotten Conference Player of the Week or something along that lines.
oh, I had set my career high. It was our first conference game, and I dropped like 20 points, and that was like my career high. So like they just shouted me out because we ended up winning that game. So
Yeah,
yeah,
there you go.
yeah.
That's what it was. I knew it was something I'd seen, and I was like, hey, like check that out. Walk us through that game, and who was it against, and just take us back through that game.
So it was our first conference game. It was away. It was at Southwestern or what, in Georgetown? I think in Georgetown, somewhere around there. So our whole team was like, we were pumped. We were like, it's our first conference game. We're gonna get the dub. Like this season's a new season. And then I was practically injured the whole season. So like I had to like accommodate my injuries to how I play. So then game starts, whatever, my teams, they're doing great. Like we have all this energy, and then I go in, and then I don't know what happened. I think I hit like a mid-range jumper, and I was like, okay, cool. And then like I start hitting again, and I start hitting again, all mid-range, and then like I start hitting threes, and I was like, hold, like I'm on fire right now. So then my teammates, like, we know when, like, if you're on fire, we know to give them the ball. So like they just kept giving it to me, and like I kept shooting, I kept making, and then I didn't even know that I had dropped 20 until David, he was in the stands. He was waiting because they had a game after that. David was looking at me, and he goes like this, and I was like, what are you saying? And like the game was done, but I was like, we have to go back to the locker room. And he's like, 20, and I was like, oh shoot! Like I didn't even realize it, just because like I was just so in the game, because I wanted to beat them, that I was just doing my doing my thing. And then but I mean, if it wasn't for my teammates, like who just like know when to like pass and all that stuff, and how we work, I wouldn't have done that. So I have to give a shout out to them too.
Did you feel that this year you came into your own and you started to get a real feel for playing at the college level?
I felt more confident this season than last season, because last season all I did was shoot threes, because I was so scared, because everybody, like, it was just a new thing. But this season I feel more confident. So, like I kind of like picked, like I would drive in a little bit, try to get some contacts here and there. So I feel like that's what I need to work on more now, is like actually getting to the hoop. But something I worked on was my mid-range jumpers, because like in high school I was good at that. So it's like, why not try to bring it here if I'm good at it there? So yeah.
Aaron, how did your second year go for you?
First of all, she's being too nice. She's a killer on the court. Like, she's really being real nice right now.
I've heard that she's had a good.
Yes.
Your pops was bragging about her that she had tore it up this year, and I've been following her. So, I mean, I appreciate the modesty, but hey,
For me, I had a rough year. When you put in the work and all summer, and you shoot the ball, so many times a day and all that good stuff. You hope to shoot the lights out in the game, but I struggled shooting the ball. But I mean, as far as playmaking, I try to make that my go-to, and try to obviously the turnover ratio, turnover assist ratio is a big deal. So that was basically my trying to just find my way. But with that being said, I felt like in the next 2 years, I can kind of come into my own, as homegirl's doing over here. And I mean, with the whole, pandemic going on, I was really looking forward to taking advantage of the off season, but obviously, this kind of changed. So for me, it's just about getting back in rhythm and trying to find my way again, and hopefully, look forward to this next year.
Considering that you guys are, the rest of the semester has been online, have each of y'all's coaches reached out, maybe an off-season workout plan for you guys to follow?
Yes, my coach actually, she called us like in the past month. She called us almost every week just to like check up on us, how we're doing, if we were adjusted fine. And then for workouts, we have this app called Bolt, And during season, like that's our workout. We go after practice, we go hit the weight room. We have to finish that. We're gonna go home. But she said that since like gyms recently opened up, it's still like it's kind of like risky to still go. She set up this body workout, so like it's just body weight, pure body weight. So that's her. She just doesn't want us to like lose our way and like just be lazy like we were in the beginning, or I was in the beginning. So yeah, now she has that set up. So she just wants us to do that and then like work on our ball handling if we don't have a basket at home, work on our cardio, pretty much stuff like that.
Aaron?
And yeah, same. Just, same thing. Trying to use the same program Bolt, and it's kind of the same message she just spoke. So just try not to be lazy like the rest. But it's tough.
And David Sanchez is up there with you guys as well. So there's a trio of San Benito up there.
For everyone watching, it's Kerrville Dave. He goes by Kerrville Dave now. But shout out David. Yeah, he was able to join us a sophomore year. He opted in Kerrville. So it was nice having him. It was weird that first year because my roommate was like, I didn't know him, and second year Dave was like, hey man, like I'm gonna go. I was like, hey, come up, like let's do this. So he was my roommate the whole year. We had fun. We had a lot of fun.
Definitely. Let's go back in time again. 2 years ago when you guys were seniors, and Miranda, with you, that senior year that you had. Now that it's said and done, we look back at it and say, man, that really was a special year for Lady Hound basketball. But going into the year, when the year started, you guys had Weslaco, you guys had Harlingen in that district. Los Fresnos was still tough. But when did you all feel that year was going to be special, or was it already set in stone that you guys knew you had something special going into that season?
I feel like a little bit of both. Like we knew we could be good this season, and we knew we had to be good. Like it was our last season playing together. Like for literally like most of the starting five, except for one, Haley. She was a junior. But other than that, we were like a senior team, so we knew we had to just go out with a bang. And but we were underlooked against some of like Weslaco. Weslaco is a good team. They have a good sports program, so we always knew like that's competition right there. Even Harlingen, like the coaches there, they were amazing the way like they worked with the teams. So it was, I think at the beginning of the season, during preseason, we were just like, all right, let's focus, let's work hard. Like these preseason games, if like even if win or lose, like they don't matter. Like we just need to get it together. Like we gotta just work harder and get better. Then when season came along, we won. I think it was 5 games or something like that. 5 or 4 games. Like we won straight in a row. And then we had Weslaco, and we were like, damn, like, sorry. We were like, man, like we can do this. Like it's like we're good. Like I know we got this. And then the Weslaco game came up. Everybody was here. Like Weslaco side, like it was at home. So the visitor side was packed with Weslaco fans. Our side was packed too. And it was a close game for most of like, or it was like wasn't close, but it was close. And then last minute came down. We were up 5 points. They came back, and then Michaela Garcia hit that three-point shot, and like we got so hyped, and like it was just after that we were like man, we could really do, like we can win it. And then we had that little loss against Harlingen, so we were like, oh man. But we lost to a good team, so we just had to pick up our heads and like practice harder. We did that, and then we ended up finishing getting co-district with Weslaco, I think, yeah. And other than like that, it was just we were just looking for a district title. Our program hasn't had one in I don't even know how long. So to be able to do that, and with the people that I did it with, it meant something to me, because since I grew up playing with them, it's just showed that like we finally got what we wanted, even if it took our last year.
Yeah, I'm looking back at the schedule, and I remember that when Michaela hit that 3-pointer at the buzzer, when it was, the reaction was priceless. Yeah, it was in San Benito, but then you guys host Harlingen that one game. I still think to this day there hadn't been a louder crowd. Maybe the second time y'all played them at Harlingen was loud, but I remember when it was at San Benito, I had never seen this, but they put like a rope behind the Harlingen bench, and then there were people like Yeah, right behind the ropes and like on top of
Mhm.
them every single minute of the game. I mean, it was extremely loud. What is that? What you remember from that game? It being so loud?
Oh yeah, like that. Oh my, I couldn't hear. My coach was trying to call plays. I could not hear what he was calling. So I think we ended up preparing for the next game. We ended up having to make like hand signals just to call out plays. But from that first game, even the Harlingen fans, they were so pumped, and like I actually liked it because like I like when like the audience, like either side, is just so pumped like for their teams because it gets the players hyped. So playing against them and like having all that noise, like as much as it's like nerve wracking, it also like gives you that adrenaline pump that you need.
Yeah, and because you guys beat Westlaco, and then you lose to Harlingen, you lose to Los
Yeah.
Fresnos, but then you guys win 5 straight, and then you guys don't lose until you guys meet Alexander
Yeah.
in the playoffs. Then we fast forward to what was arguably the biggest game of your career and probably the biggest game in San Benito girls basketball. Was y'all went to Harlingen, and
Yeah.
I mean that game just had everything and then some in it. I just remember that week, we were even preparing for, I think it might have been on a Friday, and it was
Yeah,
like,
it was.
man,
It was actually on my birthday.
that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And I just remember all like, I think Freddie and I went to San Benito, we went to Harlingen, we were getting the stories ready, and we're like, man, like, we're just excited as they are. Like, this game's gonna be for real. And I
Yeah.
remember leading up to it, and I think I think it was that week or the week of the playoffs. I think you and I sat in the gym for like maybe an hour and
Yeah,
talked
just talking.
talked
Yep.
about basketball. And then we get to Friday's game. If you can remember, what was that week like for you guys, preparing and knowing what, obviously after Tuesday, but Wednesday, Thursday, those 2 days, just preparing for that
Yeah.
game.
So it was a three-way tie
Mhm.
because we lost twice, Harlingen lost twice, or no, Harlingen lost once,
Right.
and then Westaco lost twice. So if we would have lost to Harlingen, it would have dropped us down to third. It would have put them in first, I believe, or it was like neck and neck.
Mm-hmm.
So my mindset, and I think all of them, like the whole team's mindset, was we need to win. Like we didn't work this hard to just get third, because like it was either first or third. Like there was no, that was it,
Right.
So I remember I was not, how would I say, I was nervous. Like I was like man, like what happens if like I have an off game, or like any one of us has an off game? Because if one of us has an off game, it's not the same thing, So I just had to get all those nerves out, and I was like, you know what, like I played so many games before. I played Harlingen before. Like it's nothing new. Like I just got to do what I know I can do. So then leads up to the game. Like gym's packed with people. There's people that can barely find a seat. Like they had to sit all the way at the top bleachers, And then we're warming up. Everyone's loud. Harlingen's like has all the momentum because it's at their house. And then game starting, always neck and neck again. And then we hit, like literally it was like it was like 0.2 on the clock, or like seconds on the clock. And one of the Harlingen girls gets to shoot free throws, and it's tied game. Like she literally just had to make one, and
Really
it would
nice.
have been over, Yeah. Oh my god, she's a great defender. So yeah, so like then she misses the first free throw, and like in my mind, because I was like there, like I was by her, or I was around there, and I was like, oh my god, like really looking out for me right here. So then I was like, all right, like if she makes it, I don't even know if we had timeouts, but in my head I was like, we just got to get the ball in and just, we got to launch it. One of us has to launch it. And then she misses the other one, and I was like, man, we have to get the rebound. So then one of our posts, it was Jackie LaBelle. She got the rebound, and then she just held on to it and just waited for the buzzer to just stop. Buzzer stopped, went into overtime, and then I don't know what happened to us, but we just took off from there. And I'm just so glad that we won that game.
Yeah, and not to mention that the game, it went into overtime. As if the game didn't have enough drama in it, it goes to overtime, and we're just sitting there like, man, like this is everything we were hoping for, and then some. And Julie missed those free throws, and I do remember, and I think I told you, Miranda, was you had ice in the veins when you made that shot.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
That sparked the rally, and I think I remember I was telling Fred, I was like, dude, right here is where she just boom, made that shot, and I think that's kind of what sets you guys in motion.
Yeah, because I hit, I think like 3 back to back in the same spot, and then after that they had to foul us because like we had a lead, and then we kept hitting our free throws, and then that basically like it took off from there.
Yeah, no, I clearly remember that, and I remember that conversation. You guys outscore them in OT 14-7. You went on that last run. 62-55 was actually the final. You guys just held on in a knockdown, drag down fight at Harlingen, and you know the fact that it was against Harlingen, it was in Harlingen, and what was at stake. Just what were the emotions like after the game? I think I have that picture of you and Arlene. Was it Arlene giving you the hug where it was as tight as it could be? What were the emotions like?
I feel like once the last seconds came down, like we knew, like I remember we were just waiting, like the clock just needs to run out, like time could not go by any slower. And then once that happened, like it didn't hit me till Arlene hugged me. Like she hugged me and I was like, oh my God, like we just won, like we beat Harlingen, and like we're in first now. So then like everybody, I don't even think anybody cried, honestly. I don't know. I did it. I was just so happy. I was like, damn, like we finally like we got what we worked for. And then like cherry on top, it was my birthday. So I was like, man, like we're ending it on a win too. Like it was our last game of the season. So then even that, like it was special. And my whole family was there, like all of my family, like cousins, everybody, like everybody was there. Like they probably took a big section of the bleachers. But yeah, and then I remember sorry, we were all hyped, and then like just taking pictures after the game. And like I remember when we went back to like outside where no one could see us, like we just got all excited, like yeah, like we did this, we got this, and then that was it, really.
You know, and then you guys take that high into the playoffs, and then you beat Edinburgh Vela. So obviously, you know, winning, you know, the fact that you guys were able to win a playoff game too, kind of helped, you know, put really, like you said, a cherry on top for your season. And then you guys ran with Laredo Alexander, who was just an absolute beast that year. But just what was that playoff run like to be able to carry that momentum into the playoffs?
Yeah, so our first playoff game, it was against Edinburgh Vela. I remember they had a hot start. Like I think it was like 8. They scored 8 on us. It was an 8-0 run for them. And then it hit me, and I was like, dude, like what are we doing? Like we're good. Like why are we playing like it? So then I think my coach Moreno called a timeout, and he's like, all right, like y'all are good. Like take a breath. Like you're fine. And then like after that, as soon as that timeout happened, and I think it was Emily got an and one. After that, we just took over. Like it was crazy. So then after that win, we were like, all right, yeah, we got this. We got to go to the second round. I think it was easier for us to plan against Edinburgh Vela because we played them in off season. So we knew how they played, so we could adjust to it. We knew like their best players and all that stuff. So then going into Laredo Alexander, knew nothing about them, never played them before, you know. And then like we watched them, we watched film, but it's like we don't really know. You can't really say you know how they play until you play them. And I was guarding this girl thinking she was my height. She has like 2 inches above me, and I'm just like, oh my God. Like I thought she was so much shorter because she looked shorter on film. So I was like, oh yeah, I got this. And then so then like they had height against us. They are also like, they're super good. Like they were really talented. I honestly feel like we could have won if we had a better mindset. Like I feel like we went into that game thinking like, oh yeah, I think we got this, but we weren't playing to get it, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm. Let's see if I can pull it up.
Oh, I thought you would reconnect. I was like, oh man, what happened?
Can you see that?
Yeah.
No, so I have a little surprise for you. That was the first shot. You know, talking about a trip down memory lane. You know, there's Arlene, Jackie LaBelle, Emily, Haley, there's you. Just how special was this group, you know, being able to be that team who not a lot of people can say beat Westlaco and Harlingen in the same year.
Yeah, okay, so I played with Emily, Haley, Michaela, Arlene, and Jackie. for a good I started playing when I was like in 5th grade. So from there to high school, we had already built this chemistry. So like playing with them and building that chemistry with them, it was really fun because like we weren't always the best of friends, but we knew that when it came down to it, like we had to play together, you know, and like we'd fight sometimes, but we'd get over it, you know, like that's what teammates do, you know. So playing with them, like it was really fun to do that because I'm not gonna forget about them. Like they're part of my high school team that won a district champion, you know. Like there's times where I go back and I talk to my mom, even my dad, we talk about it. And it's just like, man, like that's like the whole season, like just my high school years are really special. And then we'll bring up like some of the plays they did, and like they're gonna be like a part of my life for a lot, like forever, like till I die, you know. And I appreciate that because I can say like they're my friends, you know. And like, yeah, we don't stay in touch, but I know that, or I hope they know that if they reach out to me, like I'm gonna be there for them. So having to like win a district championship with them, but also like know that we're there for each other throughout those whole years, like it's really special to me.
Definitely. And you know, the fun story about that picture was it was pouring rain that day. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, it was.
And I had to drop off Freddie because he had the cameras. So he ran into the gym, lucky him, was closest to the door. I had to park somewhere out there in the parking lot, and then I had to like run inside and got like but yeah, no, that was definitely a special team. You know, so sticking with basketball, you know, what do you guys miss most about sports right now? The fact that we haven't had live sports in some time.
I guess. I mean, basketball, obviously, but football too. They still don't know. I don't know if they figured out what they're gonna do with the NFL yet. I think it's still gonna go on for next year. But basketball, man, that was tough. I was really excited to see that Kawhi and LeBron matchup. You know, the Clippers, Lakers. You know, that type of thing. Who else was making noise? And then a lot of young NBA players were making their way. The Zion and who was the guy from the Grizzlies, the rookie from the Grizzlies, Ja Morant and Zion. Man, I was looking forward to seeing what they were going to do. Who was going to take that ace spot in the playoffs? But I hope they figure it out and it gets back because we need it.
Yeah, I think the latest. Yeah, no, we need sports. I think the latest that I'd seen was it could come back in July, and that they would be playing the rest of the season in Florida at Disney World.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, how about you, Miranda? What do you miss most about sports, whether that's being involved in it or just from a fan's perspective and watching, you know, the different sports?
I guess since I got to finish my season, it wouldn't even be like being involved in it. So it's more like watching it because like I said, me and Aaron, like we had friends at Shriner and they played softball. So we were always excited to go see them. And every time they had a game, if we could, because their preseason started while our basketball season was still like kind of going on. So sometimes I had practice. So even if I could like catch like 30 minutes of the game, we'd go. So that was like, it was fun, you know, like, cause the softball team supported Shriner basketball team 100%. Like they were always there at our games. So like we try to return the favor, you know. So we were there like cheering them on, and we were probably like the loudest ones. And so like even that, like I miss being a fan personally because even like hyping them up, knowing that they can do great things. Because man, this season like they would have killed it. I know they would have killed it. This season they were good. So even that, and like for NBA wise, we were together when we found out that they just canceled it. I remember we were at Jordan Urbina from Los Fresnos. Mm-hmm. We were at his apartment and we were eating, and then all of a sudden he just goes, "Who's on that kind of Rudy Gobert?" Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Rudy Gobert, he was the first one to get tweeted about catching the coronavirus. So he's like, "Man, Rudy Gobert got the coronavirus, blah blah." So then they canceled that game. And then games started getting canceled. And we're like, man, like, what are we gonna do, you know? So then when the season just got permanent, like, just canceled, we were just like, man, like, we were looking forward to actually watching it and like being able to watch it together. Like, it would have been cool to watch. But I miss it too. So like I remember Aaron came over one time to my house. He just looked up the Kobe Bryant when he dropped how much?
81.
Yeah, like 81 points, and he just played that game, and we just watched it. Stayed up till like 2 a.m. and just watched it, and it's like that's just like we miss watching like stuff like that, like just sports in general.
Definitely. I have one more surprise for you before we go.
I hope not.
Talking about the famous game. There's the
Yeah.
photo.
Okay.
I know there's more of that, but that's what I have on me right now when I looked it up. There it is.
Arlene?
Arlene, I'm
Shout
right
out.
there. She's hugging me, bro. Shit.
Oh, you're behind me? Okay.
Yeah, I'm
okay.
behind Emily,
I
bro.
couldn't
Dude,
even,
we were so pumped. Oh my god. I don't honestly like that picture was a blur, and now that you brought it up, it's crazy for me to see right now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Neo jerseys.
Yeah, I know those.
The alternates.
Yeah, we got those custom made. They were like our senior gifts and stuff. So we were just like, man, let's play with them.
That's cool.
It was our last season game, so we were just like, might as well, like it's away anyway. So yeah.
Definitely. That I know that season was a lot of fun because of just how competitive the district was with Westlaco. I mean, Harlingen South was good that year. I think.
Oh yeah.
Carla Reyes.
Oh yeah, Carla Reyes. Yeah.
Carla, I think I think that was the year she got hurt when she was a sophomore.
Yeah, so she didn't get to play either game with us, because I know the first game, I forgot what happened, but she wasn't able to play, and then the second game she ended up, I think, tearing her ACL or something like that, or something in her knee. She messed it up. So I feel honestly, if she would have played against us, like it would have been more competition, and I personally would have liked that, just because like I like playing competition. I like playing their best. So I was really it was a bummer like that she couldn't play, but I'm just glad that she recovered and she got to finish her season too. So
definitely. Before we go, any shout outs to any family members or old teammates?
You want to do that first? Or I do that first?
Yeah, you go first.
Okay. I guess shout out to obviously my family, my mom, my dad, my grandma, for never missing a game. My cousin Erica, Chris, always there for me. My friends from Shriner, they're very supportive, always there for me, even from back home. David, he's one of my best friends, like he's always with us. Haley and Jackie, I still talk to them. Yeah. Oh, I gotta give a shout out to my coach. Coach Sam from Shriner. She's really good, and she helped me with a lot. She actually helped me adjust. Shout out to Coach Moreno, helping me get there. Yeah, just shout out to everyone who's helped me, along this way, and who's still part of my life. And I appreciate y'all. I love y'all, and just thank y'all for everything.
Shout out one time. My little nephew, he lived with us for a couple of years while I was, and on that little senior trip. So, Caleb, it's his birthday today too. Shout out Caleb. Danny Ray, my brother Danny, Andrew, Mandy, obviously, Coach P, Coach Abrigo, man, they helped me out, man, and back to the terminology, man, they really helped me grow as a basketball mind. Coach Rock, Curville Dave, Jordan, the FCs, all of the FCs, and then man, yeah, mom, dad, man, we've been through a lot. So it's great to see everything unfold, finally, and get to enjoy it.
Yeah, it's definitely a small world, when we kind of take a little trip down memory lane. And of course, I worked with your mom, Erin Linda, at the Star. And see, we were the sports. We were in our own little room in like the back of the newsroom.
Yeah.
And then your mom was always up in the front, and it was really, to be honest with you, she was the only one up front that I kind of really only liked. And kind of only I don't know anybody else. I didn't know anybody else because I don't two separate worlds. But I know, like, when I would go turn in my mileage with the lady Melba, who was in charge of that, I always made sure to go by and go pick on your mom or go tell her how she was doing, or catch her up on the San Benito sports and what was going on.
Yeah.
I know it was always fun to just go up there and visit her and see her up there. And then of course your pops, the voice of the Lady Hawks.
Nah, don't hype him up. Don't hype him up. He's watching, man. He's watching. I'm happy
Oh,
to hear
but
this
I
after.
got to.
Come on, man.
I got
Don't
to,
do that
man.
to me.
I got to. And it's funny because I always, when I see him, I always imitate him and I do his intro and he's like, oh man, no spoilers, no spoilers. And I'm like, spoilers? Like, everyone knows your intro. It's softball and the Rio Grande Valley. And I'm like, oh. So
yeah, that's it.
yeah, and I just saw him the other day. A shout out to him. He actually hooked me up with some South stuff, some South caps. So it's always fun seeing him out there at the ballpark, and just how we kind of all know each other through some way or shape and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Valley, man.
Yeah, he had mentioned that you both were up at Shriner, and he was bragging about you, Miranda, that you had a great year. So I was like, well, let's get both of them on.
I know you're your own dad.
Let's have them on the show. Let's get them on here and let's talk some basketball. So a shout out to your mom and your pops too, and your mom too, Miranda. Your mom was the coolest. She worked at the concession stand, man. Like she was the coolest there, and she would always like, you want a Gatorade? You want something? I'm like, no, it's okay. She's like, oh, take a Gatorade. I'm like, okay, cool. All right, I'll take a Gatorade. So she always took care of me whenever you guys had games in San Benito.
Yeah, she's watching this too, so I'm sure she'll appreciate the shout out from you as well. She talks about you sometimes. She's like, oh, remember when Kevin would do this at the games and he'd interview me? I'm like, yes, mom. Like I remember. Like don't worry. Like you are talked about as well. Like we have to give a shout out to Kevin Noddle.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
You changed all these sports, man.
Yeah.
What's that?
You made it fun again.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, we're trying, man. Especially, in this past month and a half, man, we were trying to find ways to get the fans engaged and talking sports and having guys like you on to come on and just talk sports. And then have you seen our quarterback madness bracket?
Yeah, I peeked it a little bit.
Yeah, Eric Reta, he made the Final Four. So I think he's a year ahead of you guys at 2017, or no, same year, right?
No, he's our year as well.
Yeah.
Same year, yeah. So yeah, that was definitely a talented graduating class. We actually had him on the show earlier. Him and Marco, Zach, and Trey. We had the Final Four quarterbacks come on the show earlier today. So it was funny because Eric, we wanted to do it yesterday, but Eric's like, oh man, I don't get out of work till 9. So I'm like, well, can we do it tomorrow at noon? And he goes, yeah, I can do it, but I'll probably take my lunch break then. I'm like, okay, well that'll work. So we get on the show, and I said, guys, we'll probably let Eric talk first because he's at work right now, and we want him to get back. And he goes, no, I'm fine. I told my boss, like, I'm on a lunch break, like I can do it, like I got plenty of time. He's like, okay, all right, that's cool. And he's working there in San Benito, so I'm like, I'm guessing he still has a lot of pool because he's Eric Reta.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, you want to take some time off? Go ahead, take some time off. So I was like, all right. But we're joined by Aaron Medrano and Miranda Vallejo. Guys, any final words before we sign off?
Just thank you for having us. I hope everyone who's watching or not watching that you're staying safe and that everyone's doing well during this pandemic, and that hopefully it'll be over soon. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yep. Stay safe, everybody, and keep grinding.
Definitely. All right, we're joined again by Aaron Medrano and Miranda Vallejo, both San Benito products and up at Shriner University. Thank you guys for joining the show, and keep in shape and stay safe and stay healthy. And we'll see you guys.
All right,
thank you.